All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to tackle something that might just flip everything you think you know about getting things done on its head. We're talking about that classic battle, the shiny, exciting idea of motivation versus the quiet, steady force of discipline.
You know that feeling, right? You watch an epic movie or hear a killer speech, and suddenly you're buzzing with energy. You feel like you could conquer the entire world. But here's the thing, and this is the hard truth. Relying on that feeling, it's a total trap. Because motivation, well, it's just not reliable.
So, if motivation isn't the answer, what is? Well, that's the big reveal, isn't it? The real secret weapon, the thing that actually drives success over the long haul, it's not that temporary spark. It's something way more solid, way more powerful. It's discipline.
Okay, so before we get into what makes discipline so amazing, we've got to talk about its flashy, popular cousin. We need to dismantle the myth of motivation.
In this scenario, come on, we have all lived this. It's 2 a.m., you can't sleep, and suddenly you have this incredible burst of inspiration. You're mapping out your entire future. You're going to wake up at 5 a.m., hit the gym, start that business, write that book, but then what happens? The alarm actually rings, and that feeling, poof, it's just gone. The motivation is completely checked out.
And you see this play out on a huge scale every single year. Just think about New Year's resolutions, right? In January, the gyms are absolutely packed. It's a tidal wave of motivation. But fast forward to March, and what do you see? Crickets. The crowds have vanished because that initial fire has burned out. It's the perfect proof that motivation just doesn't last.
So what's the bottom line here? It's that motivation is an emotion. It's a feeling, a spark, and just like any other feeling, it's fickle. It comes and it goes. It's amazing for getting you off the couch and to the starting line. That's why we call it the starter. But it is not the engine. It doesn't have the fuel to actually get you across the finish line.
Okay, so if motivation is only the starter, then what's the engine, right? What's the thing that's actually going to do the work? Well, that brings us to the real powerhouse here, discipline. And this is the absolute game changer. Discipline separates what you do from how you feel. It's not about feeling good, it's about doing what needs to be done. It's a choice. It means showing up when you're fired up, and it means showing up when you're bored out of your mind. It's a commitment you make, not a feeling you wait for. Okay, I absolutely love this next analogy because it just nails the difference. Think of it this way. Motivation? It's like fireworks. It's bright, it's super exciting, it gets everyone's attention, and then it's over in a flash. But discipline, that's the sun. It might not always be as dramatic, but you know what? It shows up every single day, providing that steady, reliable power that actually makes things grow.
So how does discipline work its magic? It's actually pretty simple. Through repetition, it builds habits. It takes a hard thing, something that takes a ton of willpower at first, like working out every morning, and slowly it makes it automatic. It turns it into something you just do. Think about it. Do you need to get motivated to brush your teeth in the morning? Of course not. You just do it. That's the end game. That's what we're aiming for.
All right, time to put these two head to head. A direct comparison. Because when you see them laid out side by side, the choice becomes crystal clear. Let's get into the brutal truth of motivation versus discipline. Okay, let's just walk through this. First up, their basis. Motivation is all about emotion, right? How you feel. Discipline? It's pure logic, a decision. Then you've got duration. Motivation is temporary. It's a guest that leaves without saying goodbye. Discipline is built to be permanent. It moves in. Now this next one is huge. Action. With motivation, you're passive. You're just waiting for it to show up. But with discipline, you are active. You are the one building it, brick by brick. And all of this leads to the result. Motivation might inspire you for a day, but discipline will transform your entire life.
Now, don't get me wrong. This doesn't mean motivation is useless. It just has a different job. You can absolutely use that burst of motivation to start something new, but you need discipline to actually see it through. One starts the race, but the other one makes sure you cross the finish line.
Okay, so this all sounds great, right? But the million-dollar question is, how do you actually build discipline? How do you go from knowing this stuff to living it? Well, let's get practical. Here's a simple 3-step blueprint you can start using today. All right, step 1, start small. And I mean like ridiculously small. Don't try to go from 0 to reading a whole book a week. Just commit to reading 2 pages a day. The goal isn't the result, it's the repetition. It's about showing yourself you can stick to something. Okay, step 2, design your environment. This is huge.
Make it easy to do the right thing and hard to do the wrong thing. If you want to eat healthier, get the junk food out of the house. Simple as that. And finally, step 3, stack your habits. This is a brilliant little trick. Just link a new habit you want to form with one you already have. You brush your teeth every single night, right? So, right after you put the toothbrush down, do 10 push-ups. You're hijacking an existing routine to build a new one.
And please, remember this. This is so important. Discipline isn't about these giant, heroic leaps. Real, lasting success is built on tiny, consistent steps. It's about doing the small, often boring things over and over and over again, day in and day out.
All right, let's bring this all home. As we wrap up, what's the one big idea you should walk away with? If you forget everything else, remember this.
Here it is. Motivation is the match that lights the fire, but discipline is the wood that keeps it burning. So by all means, use that motivation when it strikes. Use that match. But know that your real job, your most important work, is to consistently gather the wood. It's building the habits and the systems that will keep that fire going long, long after that initial spark is faded.
And that leads us to the final, most crucial point. You do not need to feel ready. You just need to start. Honestly, waiting to feel motivated is just a fancy form of procrastination. The people who really succeed, they don't wait for the feeling, they start the action, and often the feeling follows. The secret is just to begin.
So, I'm going to leave you with a question to think about. The next time you feel unmotivated, when that alarm rings and you want to hit snooze, or when you're staring at a blank page and feel zero inspiration, what are you going to do? What's your plan? Because now you know the truth. You don't need the feeling. You just need the discipline.